this on all messages. It has been a day. Crazy, crazy stuff. We're going to let some people get in here, let the notifications go out on YouTube or whatnot. I have got some craziness happened in Judge Chen's court today. When it comes to Sonoma, Fresno, Salem, Brian Went, John, Rain Man, Ray, all of them. Uh, how's everybody doing tonight, first of all? It has been a busy, busy day. A lot going on. Here, let's get this camera situated. I'm muted. Let's see. Can you guys hear me? Okay, cool. Sultan, not muted. You should probably check your what's it called? Your volume. All right, cool. No muted lies. That's right, Russell. All right, so we got 50 in here. Let's get to this. Today, it looked like it was going to be open, and yesterday also, Merle Hefferman had a court appearance, a status check or something like that. And I tried to go into it, and it just said the host has another meeting that they're doing. Basically, it's what they do when it's a closed, sealed hearing. They don't let any of us in, media, family, things like that. Although I do have people that I talk to that go to these hearings personally, in person. So it always helps to be able to get any information that I can to try and let you guys know what's going on when it comes to Rain Man and John and Rusty and all of them. It went down today in Judge Chen's court. Everybody who is in prison from that indictment was brought in by Zoom, but they weren't allowed to talk. Ray folks and Christopher Rainieri, Rain Man, were there in person. And it like the bombshells that were dropped today. First off, let's start with Merle. It was asked today if Merle was in witness protection, and it was verified today in court that Merle is in witness protection. And this is coming from people that were in the courtroom and heard it said that Merle is in witness protection. Now, I had said that to begin with. Shout out, who sent that? Cue ball? Sent that eagle. Thank you. I had said it, that it looked funny and everything looked like that's somebody who's set to testify, the trailing court dates and things like that. But then I talked to somebody who I trust and I still trust completely. And he was able to talk me down and say, no, bud, I think you're wrong about Merle. So I came off of it. And now today, it was verified in open court that Merle is indeed in witness protection, which is crazy. I don't know what it means for any retrial. I don't know what it means for any of that. But the big bombshell is this. If you remember, Doughboy being sent to the upper room is what most of them were convicted on, right? That and the Troy Conti beating in Sonoma's clubhouse. And then 8 months later, one of the men who drove Doughboy's remains to the funeral home disposed of Doughboy and then set Doughboy's car ablaze later. Robbie Huff went missing 8 months after all of this, right? Robbie Huff's either girl or wife or ex-wife got on the stand today and testified that Robbie told her he's the one who took Doughboy out. Now, I don't know if the prosecution had this evidence before, but they didn't disclose it, or if this is just her coming forward after all of these years to get on the stand and say that. But that is huge because it gives an alternate uh, way that things could have gone down, and that it could have been used in their defense. And there's laws out there. I think Brady versus Maryland's one of them, where the prosecution has to disclose any exculpatory evidence, meaning anything that would show that you're innocent or help you to fight your innocence. If they broke Brady versus Maryland, it could uh, it could be really bad. They're definitely, I would say, 99% going to be able to fight those convictions. And when it comes to someone, say, Rusty and Rain Man are looking like they'll probably get new trials, and Brian Went for that matter. Because if you remember, Brian Went has been villainized, and even by me, I have said terrible things about how I feel about Brian Went because it has been assumed the entire time that he's the one who took Doughboy out. Well, if Robbie did it and Brian was just doing what he did, and then Robbie, you know, met the same fate months later, that peels a whole layer off of Brian Went. Like, is he running around just straight acting a fool, or did one of his members in Fresno go rogue, take out a Sonoma sergeant at arms, and then Brian dealt with that man later, allegedly, possibly. We don't know what happened to Robbie Huff. Uh, and then, I mean, that would mean that Brian Went is absolutely. I mean, what can you say about that? Innocent, right? And it all really hinges on Merle Hefferman. Depending on what Merle says, Brian Went could go home, being not the person who sent Doughboy to the upper room. But the fact that these two things were in open court to, well, not open court, sealed court today. I wasn't able to get into the judge's Zoom and watch. Nobody was, but we have people that were there, family members, close friends, things like that, that I do talk to, that were able to tell me what went down in the courtroom today. And I just, I don't even know what to think. If Merle is in, I mean, I've thought that for like a year now because of the trailing court dates. Basically, every time they have a court date, Merle has a court date the day before, and it's always sealed. I started to lean off it, like I said. HIPAA comes into it a lot because of medical issues that he may be going through. They may seal the hearing because they're discussing medical issues. Maybe, that's crossed my mind. Big Rob, what do you think? Let's, yeah. So Big Rob brings up a great point. Come on, let's blame the guys who aren't here anymore. But this is Robbie's wife that got on the stand, Big Rob. Um, I know, take that for what it is, but at the same time, man, and it doesn't still doesn't clear up anything with Chino and Art, but it makes a lot of sense on why Robbie would be gone, right? Because the way that it's played out, the storyline, and we'll never know what really happened because none of us were there. But if you go with the mainstream storyline, it is Robbie helped Brian do this, and then Brian took him out 8 months later. This actually makes more sense on to why Robbie Huff would be sent to the upper room because if he did this and he did this unsanctioned, especially, I mean, you cannot just do that to a Hell's Angel. If you're a Hell's Angel, you can't just take somebody out like that. It has happened, obviously, up to 4 or 5 times in this instance, but the one that we're talking about is Doughboy. Uh, Rusty has always maintained that he wasn't even there. John definitely wasn't even in the same area. He was 2 hours away when all of this went down. If Robbie did this, I mean, any way it goes, it's grounds for a new trial. And if you look for Rain Man, the sole convicting witness, JoJo, perjured himself in a text message to FBI where he admitted to lying about Rain Man after the conviction. And then if there's this alternate where Robbie is the one who did it, not Brian, well then the only evidence they used was Brian going to Rain Man's house and them being inside, nobody even hearing what they said. I mean, once you start knocking those out of the way, Rain Man's defense is, I mean, how can they even recharge him? If he's granted a new trial, how could they even charge Rain Man again? Without JoJo's testimony and with them being able to say Brian didn't do it, Robbie did it, and with Robbie's wife corroborating that, I mean, which brings Merle into play. I mean, what do you do about it? Brings Merle into play big time. I'm wondering, I don't know. Maybe they gave Merle that deal, but the thing is with Merle is this. What about JJ? Right? The morning Merle's supposed to be sentenced, they find his stepson JJ gone to the upper room in Merle's bed. Merle was later seen at the funeral home in front of JJ, who's gone to the upper room behind him in a casket, uh, on a FaceTime with his side chick laughing, and it's like what's Merle's involvement in all of this, and what's he saying in all of this, and how much can you even trust a guy who is like that, right? It was his son, it was his stepson, whatever, man. He raised him. He he came into the club. JJ came in under Brian, right? And things didn't go through for him, but I mean, still, like he was a member, and it just, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what to think when it comes to that. Old days brothers didn't roll on brothers no matter what. I mean, yeah, that's a fact. And these days it's crazy work, but they do it. What's the appeal of getting into a club anymore? Nicholas Newton asks. There isn't one, if you ask me. There are clubs, Sundowners, SFE. Gypsy Joker is a crazy club to be in. You got to be a lunatic, but at the same time, great club to be in. But look at what happened with Bagger Bob. Uh, you know, Free Souls, things like that. There are Fellas MC. There are amazing clubs out there that are worth a shit. But I don't know, especially with this whole Fresno thing, and and it's Fresno, Sonoma wrapped up in it, maybe Bakersfield, who knows? Salem, Rain Man got dragged into it. Bro, I don't know. The Hessians. The Hessians is another one of those just and Sons. Sons of Silence, they stay true to it. They stay the hell out of the media for the most part. They stay the hell out of the newspapers and like every now and then a case will hit that involves them, but the booze fighters. There you go, iced out Rolly. Booze fighters, another one of those. I mean, every booze fighter I've ever met has been about their shit, but good dudes. Galloping Goose. Besides the one thing that happened in Mississippi, the Galloping Goose and El Forsteros are they're they're a hell of a club to reckon with. You know what I'm saying? Like in the pockets and areas that they're in, they're out there. They're doing the damn thing. Just seen 30 or more red and white rolling east, head into Sturgis, and it looked cool. Yeah, they're a USA run right now, so it's crazy work right now when it comes to what's going to happen with this case, what's going to happen with Merle. Rayman, obviously now, if before today, Rayman already needed to be freed and at the most have it reversed, at the least get a new trial, which I think if they can all get a new trial and they can all split it up and not go to stand trial together, because notoriously in this, Ray Ray and Rain Man were tried in the same trial, the second trial, as co-defendants, but neither one was facing charges on each other's supposed crimes or alleged crimes. Uh, uh, Ray Ray had nothing to do with Doughboy at all because he was in prison when that happened. But they're saying that Rayman did, right? And then Ray Ray was convicted on what happened with Troy Conti in the clubhouse of Sonoma. Had nothing to do with Rain Man. They never once said that it was linked at all, right? But somehow they're co-defendants standing trial. It's two. They should have never stood trial together. And then you have Rain Man sitting next to Ray Ray, who was facing a bad charge in that trial. Later, he was acquitted of that and found not guilty, but it makes the jury look at Rain Man differently sitting next to Ray Ray, hearing Troy's wife on the stand testifying that Ray Ray had done something to her, right? And Ray Man had nothing to do with that case at all. And he wasn't standing trial for that case. And then it hurts Ray Ray to sit next to Rain Man when the same jury is hearing about Doughboy being sent to the upper room and them saying Rain Man called the shots on that. Ray Ray had nothing to do with that case. So I believe he's in protective custody. I may be wrong, Nicholas Newton said. Listen, it was said in open court today. It was verified in court. I believe the prosecution or the defense straight up asked about Merle Hefferman's status, and they were told that he is in witness protection in court. So I'm going to go with that. And I mean, where's Merle been? Why does he took a 4-year plea deal, got the sweetheart deal of a lifetime, right? Where he should have got 7 or 8 years on illegal dumping of human remains or something like that, something crazy. When everybody else got conspiracy to commit racketeering, uh, which carries 20 years. They all got like the Hobbs Act, which carries a life, right? They all got these crazy convictions where the minimum on each one of the charges was 10 to life, 15 to life, 20 to life, 30 to life. And Merle got 3 years on something he should have gotten 7.5 on, and still hasn't started that sentence. He should be done with that sentence, have already paroled off of that sentence, and washed up that sentence by now. He should be off paper the other way. But instead, they're dragging this, keeping him from going to prison, allowing him to stay out. And that's what brought, I mean, 30 months for Fed charges. Right. Right. West Coast Diner Bros. It's crazy. Who gets 30 months in the feds at all, really? I mean, sure you can for certain little stuff, small, minute stuff. But realistically, where everybody else got life sentences and he's the one who disposed of Doughboy, well, he's the one who showed up, cleaned it all up, rolled up Doughboy, called the funeral home, and this is all he 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 said this all happened in his sentencing. He said all of the facts. He didn't fight any of the facts in his sentencing. He said, "Yeah, I did this," and it's been sealed the whole time. Yeah, mail theft. There you go, Ryan McLeod. But we're not talking about something like that though. It's not like he was ripping off Amazon packages. This dude literally, or U.S. postal packages. Uh, this dude literally r- rolled up somebody who was sent to the upper room in a clubhouse, called to have him incinerated, and then sent people to his own stepson and Robbie Huff to take Doughboy to the incinerator and have him disposed of permanently. Yeah. Come on, guys. He's the bicycle king. I mean, I just I had the feeling, but I couldn't prove it. And then I was told that he was in Witseg, and I couldn't prove it. And then I do have people when it comes to this case that are close family friends or family of the men in this case that have been convicted. Uh, and one of the people close to Ray, who I have all the love and respect in the world for, still trust 100%. Uh, he dug into that for me, and he's like, "Bud, you can't you can't keep thinking this of Merle, because I'm hearing that it's not that way at all. That Merle is not only not in Witseg, that he was still currently in the club, um, but now in open court, when asked about Merle's status, they said he's in witness protection. So JJ was hard partying, dude, if you know what I mean. Yeah, yeah, and ultimately it ended up taking his life. And he was young though. He was so young, but tough as nails, and not big at all. But in his head he was a giant, uh, and wasn't afraid of shit. So 100% he could have absolutely iced out Rolly, and that's why I won't say Merle did anything to JJ. I'm just saying the circumstances were really strange and funny, you know. Uh, take it for what it is, right? And look what happened to him. Yeah, yeah. Oh, that a Beetlejuice ain't no joke. Can't humanely compete with it. Yeah, a lot of us are lucky to still be Nicholas Newton. That's a fact. I know I am. I know I am. Uh, I have gone hard in my life, and and it'll probably knock 10, 15 years off the back end of my life eventually, and I think about that a lot now as I get older. I definitely do. Miranda, how are you doing? Let me see. Oh, won't get on the Troy Conti stuff alone. Uh, oh, Ray Ray won't get out on the Troy Conti stuff alone. Actually, I mean, it depends. If he gets a new trial on everything, then they have a better shot. Here's the thing. Ray Ray hasn't been sentenced yet. And what Ray Ray was looking at sentence wise, I believe was 20 to life or 30 to life. Now Ray Ray is older, uh, but he still had action at getting out. He's already halfway through what we believed was going to look like a 20 to life sentence. He was the only one that was going to actually be looking at getting a, a sentence, not a life, right? And he was on federal parole when it happened. So he has to clean up that sentence first, but he has been down for 10 years on this. So he has a very long record. That's a fact. He has been to, listen, he had the mortgage, the $10 million mortgage fraud. And it's not just Troy Conti alone that he was convicted on in this. He was also convicted on hitting the grow houses. Now, each one of those, you know, it's does Ray Ray roll the dice? But he joined her onto this, so he wants a new trial. If I'm Ray Ray, I don't know if somebody better at law than me knows what happens if you're acquitted of a specific crime in a first trial. You get granted a retrial. Still, double jeopardy has to come in, and you cannot be charged with those, right? So, I my assumption, which is a terrible thing to do, is assume, but my assumption is because he was acquitted of the Troy Conti's wife charges, I don't believe that they can retry him on those because he was acquitted. Uh, Romero Act, 3 strikes and a mulligan. Well, to be to convicted of the armed career or the career criminal in the feds, I believe it has to be. Well, this is a violent crime. You are correct. But his first one was for Laughlin. His second one was for mortgage fraud. And his third one is for Troy Conti and the grow houses. So I don't think that would wash him up on three because it technically this would give him his third. And if he ever committed another act of violence, that would be it. They would wash him. Um, yeah, you can be recharged or not guilty. Pocket full of shrooms. Can you now speak on the full Mike P, 81 member who raps? So I've been watching on like Instagram or TikTok or whatever. Uh, I need to learn more about it before I speak on it. If you want to talk about rappers becoming Hell's Angels, we can talk about that. But I can't talk specifically to Mike P because I don't know. Oh, somebody put some glasses on me. That was wild. What's up, Herb? I see you. Thank you. I don't know what the hell that was about. Federal career offender charge would hurt. Yes, it would. But you got to remember, if they could get him on that for this, they would have done that. They didn't. He wasn't charged or looking to be sentenced under the federal career criminal. So I they can't do it in a retrial if he goes to retrial. I would be more worried if I were him about the charges against Troy Conti's wife, because then that in fact makes him no good on any yards. And obviously he doesn't want his reputation to be destroyed that way. He's still a member. Who is? Iced Out Rolly, who's still a member? Guess what? My cousin and a couple of other cats opened a charter in Indiana. Not going to say the name of the club, but if you know, you know. Hey, there you go. Oh, is he a member or an ex-member? Mike P? Hmm. Are you talking about Mike P from SFV? It's kind of been happening. Oh, it's been happening. What can you do about it? Uh, and everybody says Sons of Anarchy, but not. Yeah, maybe, maybe. I mean, it did show a lot of these. Mike from SFV is a little bit old to be rapping, but hey, do you? I got no problems with Mike. I poured through a case that involved him and where he took like a lesser included charge for he took the blow charge, but it was a lesser included for the weed and got probation or something like that. Cue ball, no doubt. Sons of Malarkey. Well, it was entertaining at least, but when it comes to rapping or rappers, I mean, let's. What about the elephant in the room? What about Drake? It has been rumored that Drake has been a member or something associate. Definitely lives next door to one of, I think to Robert in Canada, I believe, Marty Robert, and Drake runs around with support gear on and talks about 81 in his songs. I don't know, man. Jared Cook, good evening to you. We all did 4 seasons of Sons. Was a blast. No doubt, cue ball. I didn't mind it because of the entertainment value, and they weren't really. I've never been in a club, so and the Hell's Angels were integral in in the making of that. Now it took a lot of liberties, the whole driving the van full of bangers and blow type of deal. Doesn't really happen like that anymore, but yeah, just an associate of the Outlaws. There you go. I had brothers of mine in the Mayans MC. Okay. Box Sacto. Integral. Was too much. Am I saying, Joseph, if I'm saying that wrong, don't be afraid to tell me. I don't want to sound like a complete idiot when I talk, but yeah, I think pretty sure that was the word I was looking for. I don't know. Was too much. Don't show and being in the club was a lot. Yeah. Shout out to DL from Oakland. Happy? No doubt. No doubt. I've never heard a bad thing about Happy or DL. Did La Brava hang him up? I don't know. It seems that way to me, but you know, a lot of times people like you just you let Dave tell his story, you know? Yeah, he left the club. There you go. New sub from New York City. My mom and dad lived across the street from 3rd Street. Oh boy. House on Bowery. My dad played poker with them a few times. Yeah, that was a rough bunch right there. I'm doing a bigger story on the Where Are They Now from the Hells Angels Forever, and there is a ton of those 3rd Street members in there. Yeah, I mean, I've never really asked the circumstances surrounding DL leaving. Uh, Like I said, it's his story. He can tell it for sure. All right, Joseph. Cheers. They need to make a new biker TV series. Let's see. That's actually about brotherhood and club life. I mean, okay, but who would they follow? Who would they talk to? Who would they model it after? Because it's a wild scene right now. It's just getting crazier and crazier. Sons was a pretty good show. Haji, support your local 81 says. Uh, yeah. Any updates on Rudy from 415 Clothing? No. Nope. But let me write it down. Is he the one that got charged with the bad charges? If not, tell me now so that I can disclaim the shit out of that and say no. Um, let's see. There we go. Because I was told about that and sent all the paperwork on. There was an incident. I'm not going to say it was this guy, uh, Rudy from 415 Clothing, but yeah, I remember his left hand was puffy. Hmm. New Elgin James. Evening, Rick. What's up? Bishop to Rook check. Speaking of Bishop, you guys seen what's going on with Bishop? I was on Biker News Canada over on Bob's show in the comments, and it looks like old Bishop's on the run. I don't know if they caught him yet. I don't know what he's on the run for. I just was snooping along through Bob's video, or live, and he said old Bishop from he was Satan's Choice member, and then famously had it out with Harley and all that craziness around that. Zach B says he allegedly played felony patty cake with his wife. Oh, turned himself in. Well, I don't know what the laws are up there, but down here in America, if the cops get called because somebody's boo-bopping their lady, you're probably going to jail. You're going to jail. Hell, even if you didn't. I have seen I've known somebody who stood in a doorway one time during an argument, and they took him to jail on that and said that he was keeping her there. Although it's not like he blocked her; she walked right by him. But because he stood in the doorway, like it's he'll have his day in court. Bishop will have his day in court. What they're saying, basically, a couple of months ago, Bishop's house there was, I think, an OD and or something like that, a medical emergency. EMTs come, they see bangers and rigs everywhere. From this is the EMT saying this, not me. They tell the cops. The cops end up coming back raiding the house. They find, all types of party supplies and a banger, and they get arrested. So if he's living that life where he's banging and banging, right? It's only a matter of time before he plays felony patty cake with Amy, and that happens. What club was Bishop in allegedly? Oh God, what's that club called? Somebody help me out here. Uh, he was in Satan's Choice, and then he left and went to Notorious or something like that, or started it up or something. I don't know. That's the last I had heard of Bishop. Uh, Infamous. That's it. Hey, I was close, Zach. Infamous MC. Uh, and from what I understand, they were, I don't know. From what it looks like, he tried to blame it on Harley bringing in people that he thought were no good. Well, call it what it really is. And this is no shot at Harley or Satan's Choice. They're founded, their charters are founded, especially say in the United States, some in Canada too, of members that usually have been in the top clubs, 1% clubs, and for some reason or another been put out bad. So if you're going to be in a club that is built on the backbone of members that are out and bad from other clubs, there's going to be problems. And that's, like I said, I'm not trying to take a shot at Harley or his club. It's just the fact of the matter. Like it just is what it is, right? Now, out bad these days has little to no meaning. It's like the internet, people calling each other rats, snitches, and PDFs, right? It loses its sting because it's overused. Out and bad's the same thing. There was somebody who did 27 years for the Hells Angels, got out, has a t-shirt company, used the wrong font in his t-shirts, and it caused a whole big issue where they were trying to, or did, or something. He left the club, and they tried to say he was out and bad, from what I understand. Now that might be true or might not, but because he was using a font, a certain font on his shirts that he was selling at his shop. That dude just did 3 decades for you. What are you talking about? Get out of here. Sippy, yeah, I didn't want to say his name because he's solid. He's as solid as they come. Shout out to him, and shout out to Greg, and those dudes really held it down and went away for a long time. And to imagine somebody going away that long, look at Doc. Doc did like 10 years for them and made their patches for them. Built his whole garage basically into a patch making machine. And what'd he get for it? Bert lost an eye and a hand. What'd he get? Although Bert's not out and bad, Bert just left, you know. So at least as far as I know, I don't believe Bert to be out bad. They did Nightbot. 81 did copyright the font, but this dude just came home from a 27-year sentence for putting in work for the club. That's the guy. Look at Howie. Yeah, Howie. How much time have all of these men done, and how much blood have they shed over the club, for the club, for it to even be a thing? How many times did they hold the gate? You know, like come on, man. But not my club, not my problem, I guess. Treacherous. Yeah, that's somebody needs a hug. Definitely cue ball. Infamous drop like a soft dookie falling out of the tail, a tall cow's ass. There you go. Look how they did Sandy Alexander. That was the beginning of the BS. Look at Sandy. I mean, all he did was try to take the blame for everybody in that indictment. He literally told the cops, I did all of this, and none of them knew about it. They had nothing to do with it. I did this all on my own, had nothing to do with the club. And because of that, they said that he talked to the cops and he's out. But Sandy, there were too big of egos and personalities. Not maybe not even egos, but personalities. Uh oh. Hold on one second, guys. Oh, well, more information just came through. What's up? DM, thank you. I appreciate that. And West Coast Diner Bros, thank you for sending that too. Uh, I just sorry, my phone. There's a lot going on in the background when it comes to the Rain Man, uh, the whole Robbie Huff issue now. Mark Boone Jr. and Kim Coates rode before. Hey, I don't know how I feel about this one. Herb, I didn't even know this was a thing. Is this a new thing on YouTube? Hey, I appreciate it. You guys sitting here putting cat ears on me and everything. I'm not going to complain about it. Thank you, I guess. Yeah, thank you. Because it helps. It helps put some coin in the pocket for sure. I appreciate that. Where in Colorado are you residing? Well, I'll never give up my location. Uh, I would no, I just don't do that. I used to. I didn't know no better. Well, I knew better. I just didn't. You know. Yeah. I didn't know that YouTube did that either, bro. You learn something new every day. Robert, thank you for sending that eagle. Everyone, don't forget to hit that like button. That's for sure. Like, subscribe, share this. Share it on your Facebook. That's how it really starts to go. Probably Pueblo. No. Ew. Oh. Oh. Hmm. Damn. He took it all the way to Pueblo. Oh. Pueblo's basically New Mexico, just with a Colorado zip code. Sent that party hat. That's right. Hey, I watch a dude on YouTube. I don't even know why I'm talking about this right now. This ain't biker, but whatever. I watched this dude on YouTube named Ricky something or other. The dude's all curled up, sits on his floor on his legs. He's all, timid out, right? And he screams while people turn him into like the guy who had the island and things like that. It's weird. And they turn off his, oh God, his Alexa. They say, Alexa, turn off all devices. And this dude will be playing video games and shit, just turns off his device. Yeah. Oh, God. Hilarious. Or they'll order stuff on his Alexa, put it on his shopping list. It's fucking wild. You should go ahead. That's the stupid stuff I go to sleep watching, this craziness, so that I can smile when I'm going to sleep. Hey, thank you for sending that gold coin there, pocket full of shrooms. Any video yet on Cooks from the bar incident? No, not yet. You know, here's how it works really. First, something comes, to my attention or somebody else's attention, Bob or Hollywood or BD or even Stacks, and we'll report on it, and then you got to wait for it to play itself out. Now, I don't know what's going to happen with that. I do have a little bit more information on who the member was that was sitting in the car, who didn't get out of the car when it all went down. But I still don't want to say anything about who it was, but it surprised me. It definitely surprised me. Are there any older San Jose people that remember the Potbelly Saloon? Probably got shut down. I can't imagine anything really staying open for a long time in San Jose with the craziness that happens out there. It's wild. That place is that the 209, uh, you know, the, all wild places. I've been past the Long Island clubhouse, even pagans too. Pagans are really starting to become a thorn, especially in that area. Like we were just talking about the members and the prospects from Mid Hudson getting into it in White Plains, New York, at the restaurant, right, or the bar. And now I'm hearing from other people that there is a pagan out in that area. He's a former Hell's Angel. Tom, shout out to you. You're a savage. I've never spoken to him, but I have just heard about Tom, who he became a pagan and just went to terrorizing, always telling people, I'm here, I'm here. Like every day on Facebook, this is where I'm eating, this is what I'm eating. Come, basically, if you got that kind of thought in your mind, come do something about it type of deal, right? Uh, from what I understand, now, I don't know how true this is because it came from somebody close to the pagans. So it could just be them boosting themselves up, or it could be true. From what I understand, uh, Tom sent somebody a picture of a bar saying, I know Mid Hudson's going to be here or an event or something. And Mid Hudson stopped hanging out in Mid Hudson's area and was hanging out in New Rock's area because Tom. Now, take that for what it is. This could all be made up, or it could be very true because knowing who Tom is and how he is, he's the one that they put a red and white flower on his car to try to, I don't know, old school scare him into stopping his craziness because Tom's a psycho. That's nobody will ever say any different. The dude is a wild man. He was at the deal in the indictment that Mike P went down in. There was also an incident that happened at like I keep wanting to call it Mahoney's, but it's not Mahoney's. It was like a bar, a Christmas party for the Diablos and the Hells Angels. I'm gonna do a video I'm working on right now, kind of explain more about it. But Tom was in that indictment too for running up in that bar on the Diablos. So shout out Diablos. I'm doing a video, a little bit of the stories. I've been asking around a lot about the Diablos MC because of the thing that happened at Cadillac Ranch. Uh, so I'm going to do a long form video, not a live, a video. And I think it'll be something that I can get back into making more long form videos by doing this one because it won't be as long, obviously, as a lot of my videos are. Kind of get me into that rhythm again. Mongols were in BC. It didn't last though. Well, the Mongols then and the Mongols now are completely different Mongols. And that's what people fail to understand. When it comes to the Mongols, they're not what they were at all. They are so much different than people understand. And the level of thinking and maneuvering and how they are without violence, without any I mean, incidents have happened, yes, but they took over 11 chapters of the Banditos in Texas without firing a shot. That's crazy. That's the level that the Mongols are on right now. Now, things have happened since in Odessa and things like that, but that's mainly because those are former Banditos that are now Mongols that still have issue with Banditos, and that kind of thing is bound to happen on a hostile takeover of a state that you never saw being taken by anybody. So, the Mongols are very, very cerebral, is how I put it all the time. Uh, Down to the core definition of cerebral. That's what they are. They think. They use their minds like you wouldn't believe. So, you know, that's enough on that. But no Vagos, no Mongols, no Banditos. Canada. Oh, no grow. 420. There you go. No Vagos, no Mongols, no Banditos. Canada's one of them different. They are, and the Canadian 81 are, they are not to be trifled with. They are not playing, and they have proven it decade after decade after decade. And there are many charters in the US and around the world. Germany has charters that are, the Nordic charters are crazy. and in the US, Sonoma. We're talking about Sonoma right now. Sonoma is a beast of a charter, not to be trifled with, you know? So, but Canada is just full of these charters. Like, name me, and I'm talking to the 81 haters in Canada. Name me one week charter of the Hells Angels in Canada. Can't. You can't because they shut them down, you know? Or I mean, it's crazy. Herd Mongols setting up in BC. That's quite possible. We'll have to see how things go. There's a lot going on. There's in Northern California, you know, not Mongols, but Vagos. There's going to be some craziness going on when it comes to the newest Vagos rolling around in Northern California. We'll see how that plays out. Shout out to the Vagos in Northern California. They want to be us on the weekends, then arrest us during the work hours. Oh no. Who's that? Oh, you're talking about the law enforcement. Oh God. Iron Order being one of, but oh, let me. I want to shout him out, by the way. So I want to make sure to get his name right. I watch him on Instagram, and he makes me laugh, bro. A lot, a lot. Let me see. Shit. How would I even? Let's see. This dude, he just put something out showing a pagan president in North Carolina that possibly has law enforcement background, but big time, like federal agent background, which is crazy. Uh, God, what's this dude's name? I might not find it. I follow so many people on on Instagram. Most of it's like weird facts and history and things like that. But yeah, I'm not gonna be able to find him. Yeah, hilarious though. That's it. Wrecking Ball Bob. Shout out Isaac, and shout out Wrecking Ball Bob, who, I mean, he comes with paperwork when he's showing this stuff, and I don't know the paperwork. I don't know the provenance of the paperwork. I don't know where it came from or any of that. What I do know is that dude entertains the shit out of me when he's doing his thing. Dude is a trip. Yeah, yeah. So I watch him. I don't even know his history. I don't know what club or I don't know any of that. I just know entertaining when I see it, and he entertains me. What's up, MJ? I seen two choice here and two red rum. Uh, Eric chatted with the Outlaws from Edmonton, and 81 from Quebec. Like I said, the Hollywood have been around these guys for 4 decades. Oh yeah, yeah. Let's see. Dude in North Carolina was a cop in New York, where I'm from. Rick, Orange County Sheriff. See, Isaac. And then to take it further, it was like, okay, well, then he was also like a Coast Guard investigator or something. I don't know, a DA investigator. And if I'm not mistaken, because I paused that list that Wrecking Ball Bob was showing, and on it it said district attorney also. Was he the district attorney too? Or did he just put that? I don't know. Social rejects, what's good? All I know is there was this list of jobs. I don't know, it's probably a LinkedIn or something like that. And legitimately, LinkedIn, I never use as a source of to convict somebody on something to say this dude is this, but I will use it as basically something to point me in the right direction. So if I go and I look at someone's LinkedIn, this is what happened to Shane of the Reading Hells Angels. He was the president. Uh, there was a LinkedIn where when he was in like college or something, uh, he cleaned up dog kennels or something in the dog pound, which was attached to like the police department in Nebraska where he lived or whatever. Uh, and they used that because he said that he cleaned up kennels. They used that as some sort of evidence saying that he was a cop or something. Now I since went and ran Shane's name through all types of uh, you know, if you are a paid employee of any agency, whether it be state or federal, and I run your name through it, it will show unless you're in some weird undercover capacity, which Shane obviously isn't. Because when he, got backstabbed by his bros, he went to Camper World and got to down where he was mad at in the middle of it all. Uh, and I went and I looked, and Shane has never been on any salary ever for anything. Uh, it's the craziest thing. LinkedIn is the key to that. Was you can't really look at LinkedIn and say, yeah, this dude did all this because somebody can make a fake LinkedIn about anybody. That's like using Wikipedia. Can't do it because, as Bo from Outlaw Archive showed me, he literally went and I forget the rapper's some obscure white rapper from, he put my picture as that guy's picture on LinkedIn or on Wikipedia. And for like 3 days, my picture showed up as his picture on Wikipedia. Just being Bo, you know what I'm saying? Just Bo is Bo. He's like that. He's funny. I find it funny. Plus, you fill out yourself, you can put whatever you want on LinkedIn. Exactly, MJ. And that's the thing. So if you don't have to show any kind of evidence, you are who you say you are, and you can just put whatever you want. That's a terrible plan. What's up, OC Seabass? I see you. Uh, Shout out to my moderators, Herb Dizzle. I've seen you in here. Uh, has anybody seen Mark lately? Bigfoot, what's up, bro? I haven't seen Mark W in a minute. I just want to make sure he's okay. Or maybe I just missed him. Aiden, what's good? 1950s girls, what's good? Herb, stop it. Stop it with the makeup brush. Thank you though. But so when it comes to LinkedIn or Wikipedia, I don't even look at them. But I don't know that to be a LinkedIn list that Wrecking Ball Bob put up either. I don't know what that list was from. I just know that he pulled up like this guy's history, and he ran that pagan president down with that list. It was like, whoa, bro. I mean, with a resume like that, you might as well be in the big agency up there running around the world. But oh, there we go, Huggy. What's up, Huggy? If that is your real name. Let me see that bike. Oh yeah, look. You see how them? Yep. See how he's got some handlebars forward? That's Huggy for sure. Right over the yeah. Yep. Yeah, I don't know anything you just said right there. No. Ride every day. Gas is 228 a liter. Okay, I have a question. How many gallons is a liter? Or how many liters in a gallon? Is it because we're going from metric to yeah, 4. So you're paying $8 a gallon? 2.4 liters. Okay. So 2.4 liters at $2 and some odd cents. 378 a gallon. Okay. Oh, Works out to about 8.70 or 8.60 a gallon. Jesus. It just hit $4 a gallon where I'm at. And this gets ugh. I don't understand how this happens. I don't understand how, if we're not invested at all in any oil outside of our own country, we cut off the oil supply for a lot of the world with what we're doing over there. How does that affect our gas prices? They're letting them just gouge us. They need to get on these companies and be like, "Hey, bro, you ain't about to just gouge the American public like this, you know, especially on oil that you're not even consuming." Like we have, Sippy, I understand it's all fear, but it needs to be all fear and more expensive where the oil is actually going or where it's coming from, not a place where it's neither coming to or coming from us. Got nothing to do with us. We have our own reserves that we run. We have our own refineries, we have our own companies, but somehow they have made it okay to gouge us on the price when, and I understand it, when there's uncertainty, the price of barrels goes up, right? Well, the price of barrels go up and it was over $1 and down to 70 again or whatever. And now what is it? 80 maybe? Uh $80 a barrel. And I understand, but if that oil, if it's $80 a barrel, well, how come it's more expensive right now than it was when it was a hundred and something dollars a barrel 3 months ago? That is clear greed by the oil companies and gas companies. Because and then when we had 6 weeks where we weren't doing anything over there, however long it went, during the memorandum or whatever that was going on, uh, we didn't see prices drop significantly then. But the instant it starts back up, boom, they've raised it again. It's predatory. It's gouging. They should not be able to do this, and we need laws against things like that. You can't just let these companies, okay, we're in a free market. I get it. Charge what you charge, but you're artificially inflating oil prices or gas prices at the pump in America for oil that was never, it had nothing to do with us. And not for nothing, I am all for us going around the world and taking all the oil. I'm cool with that. Let's just call it what it is. Let's go do that. Fine with it. Just don't, pee on our leg and tell us it's raining. Like just say, hey, we don't feel there's enough oil in the world. Let's go get that. Okay, let's do it. I'm down. Yeah, I'm cool with that. I am cool with that. We can hijack all of it. I'm fine with it. What I'm not fine with is paying $4 for no reason when, because they say, oh, the uncertainty. The uncertainty for who? Who's consuming that oil? Other country, India, Pakistan, China, got nothing to do with us. That oil is not coming here. What do we care? Ugh. Cue ball, you ain't lying. And Roger, yeah, OPEC is crazy. If we turned it to America's Iran, we'd go back to 1999 and 98 cents a gallon. Bobby V, that's it right there. If we turn that Iran oil into American oil, we'd be back to 90, 97, 98 cents a gallon. I believe that. And now, I mean, we just jumped Venezuela. Shit, we went over there. We did our thing. There's a reason. We went and got some. And now we have a better interest in securing the people of that country because they have resources that we can use. Rick, am I a fan of the Don? Look, somebody in the media just asked him, "What are you going to do about the surprise that they just tried to launch on us when we were supposed to be again under a faulty little cease?" Right? Hey, he said, "I'm going to bomb the effing S out of them." I mean, come on, bro. Listen, he he talks how he talks. He says the crazy shit. Look, I grew up around people who talk just like him. I talk just like him. Ah, I like a dude who says some shit like that instead of wanting to be all political and sometimes he says some way off shit that's crazy. Now, don't get me wrong, and don't think for a minute that everything that he's setting into place isn't going to make him a good trillionaire. Of course it is, but it's entertaining to watch. That's for sure. That's Chuck Zito's homie, by the way. Blows my mind. People blame everything on yeah. You know, I don't know. I'm I'm all for anything that doesn't have little ones put in danger, right? What's going on over there? Uh, many just young adults or young children have been sent to the upper room over what it boils down to is nonsense. It's always land or resources or religion. And if you could take all of that out of any of this, nobody would be fighting. But, you know, that is the cost. Yeah. The game must be played, right? How do I feel about the juice box? I don't know. I don't know. Mr. Lockdown, I used to watch that every night as a kid, the Bundys. Yeah. Yeah. Begged for Iran to go. Well, you know, Pickaxe is way too far inland. See, here's the thing. Geographically, if you think, say, Afghanistan's a nightmare, uh, you should see Iran. It is a nightmare geographically. It is way bigger, and they have oil money. They're oil rich, so they have money spending all of that. Probably that keeps up with us. Uh, Especially when basically everything goes into them being able to secure themselves. They have hung in there for months and months of us just raining it down from the sky. Solid rock cliffs, exactly. And then if you go boots on the ground, then it becomes really static and they are dug in. If you think they're so dug in right now that say pickaxe and things like that, they're hard for us to get to from the sky. How dug in do you think their millions and millions and millions of troops are? Like, we don't want that. We don't want that. If they build and hit, yeah, then every country in the Middle East will be messed up from radiation. No, listen, I believe that that country does not need to have anything that they can threaten complete annihilation of any other country because Kuwait, look at what they do to Kuwait. Kuwait just seems to get picked on by everybody over there. It seems like every time there's a problem, Kuwait gets the bad end of the stick, right? And fuck, but imagine if they were able to get their hands on such devastating weaponry. It might be a I mean, they fired on everybody around them. They've already who who haven't they touched that borders them? Afghanistan? They've literally got up in the crowd and just started bombing on everybody. It's wild. Them dudes, they are not the. It's like little Rocket Man, right? You don't want him to have one of those either. But how true is it that they're close or very close, or they pickaxe is basically they were days away or months away, or they have already. Uh, can we put it past the other larger countries that are helping them that are also nuclear when it comes to India, Pakistan, China, and Russia? I mean, shit, bro. I don't know. I don't know. It's I know and we're over there for every time there's an issue in that region. Saudi Arabia is a huge interest of ours. Just happens to be that way. Who knows what all we're doing for each other in the background? Who knows? But the easiest way I see out of it is through what we're doing, the blockades. It's a less lethal option. Blockade, take away their industrial complex, take away their ability to build weapons, and take away their ability to ship weapons in from other countries who would help them. And I think that's the best course of action. We do not want our kids going into that country. We don't. I know I don't. As a father, I do not want my sons setting foot on foreign soil when sure our interests are at stake, but our actual safety is not. And that's just the hard truth of it. And if other countries in that region cannot skillfully defend themselves, then either they can buy from us and we can help them do it, helping to boost us, or learn to fight. I mean, the one country I refuse to say their name on here just because it's such a crazy thing, but you guys all know who I'm talking about. The one that's been battling six, seven of them at a time, uh, routinely for 40 years, who has technology that blankets their cities from attacks from above. Okay, cool. Like do that for the other allies or other countries that we have shared interest with. We've already taken out the leader who chants and does all that other stuff. His son's crazy. We should probably go ahead and finish that one, but I'm not calling for that. I'm just saying, I, I wouldn't be upset. you know, the worst thing you can do, it's yeah, leave the younger, madder version of the guy you just sent to the upper room out there to go ahead and cause issues for you with the ability to make unlimited amounts of money once the blockade is lifted and once they're able to actually once this has fixed itself one way or the other, that country is going to go back to pumping oil and making money. Now, if you leave it in the hands of the dude who you just took his dad out and he's even crazier, that might be a problem. Might be an issue. I dubs, yeah, I don't know, bro. I don't know. Yeah, cue ball, no doubt. If we screw, yeah, that's the big thing, and that's good. We own them. We owe them a good black eye for 1952. Well, there's there's a lot more that goes into proxy, right? You're not actually waging anything. It's like what's going on right now with well, I don't want to say those two countries, but they're European countries that we know have been going at it for a few years now, right? Uh Now we're not involved in that. But by proxy, by giving up technologies, weapons, things like that, we're basically funding it without having to send our people to go do it, or we are arming it. But did you guys see there was a house in LA that was raided in Hollywood, and it is a politician or something from maybe Turkey or something like that. Some big to do family that's like mafioso style family over there. And they're saying that it's oh, what was the movie with where they were running bangers across the world? Something dogs. Anyway, kind of like that basically, where I think that they just raided that house where war dogs or something like that style activity was going on. Yeah. Yeah. Well, hey, not for nothing. We have Canadians in here right now. No, no. Uh, what's Canada think about all this? Because those are our neighbors, and what do the Mexican people think about what's going on? Because they're our neighbors also. They got a lot going on though, and so does Canada for that matter. But a lot, it's a lot friendlier about it. Like they don't have all the craziness. It seems the farther north you go in the world, the nicer the people are. And that's not calling everybody nice. I'm sure they got the pig farmer and stuff like that in Canada, so you always got some wacko somewhere. But if you think about it, in Europe, you start all the way down there in Italy, Spain, Portugal, places like that, madmen, right? As you go further north, you end up in Switzerland, Denmark, Finland, nice places, nice people, you know. So the further north it seems like you go, maybe I've come growing up in Vegas when it was hot. We just always wanted to box anyway. We didn't even care why. In Vegas, in California, there was people who had a lab full of and use no, Bobby, I didn't, but I'll write that down too. I didn't. I did see that Keefe D is set to stand trial for taking out Tupac. Uh, and that's coming in August. I'm going to cover that because it's Las Vegas lure. It's like I was in Vegas when all of that happened in '95, I think '96, something like that. Uh, so it's always been like a part of the Vegas history, right? And now, all these years later, boom, about to go to trial on that. Yeah, West Coast Honor Bros. I'm gonna have to check that out. We'll see what's going on. And attack Iran. Imagine. Yeah. Yeah, Haji, there's no doubt about that. Uh, they really did just start sending them to everybody. And that shows. When you have such huge historic centuries and centuries, millennia old differences, especially religious differences, and you start attacking people that are like-minded, it's going to be an issue. And that's what's happened over there is everybody's turned on that country because of the way they've reacted to us. you know you, you're just going to start taking it out on anybody. They didn't even care. And that's what it seems like. It seems like they just take it out on everybody. If they could get one over to you, they're going to send them. And it was crazy. My second mother, which is Greece, is like Kuwait, Turkey, always trying to. Oh, Turkey's always trying to hijack Greece. Yeah, I can never see that happening. Not these days. They're too, yeah, they're too, I don't know. They're there. The Turks came from Mongolia. Huh. Okay. I didn't know that. Uh, I mean, the Mongolians, I was looking, the percentage of people with Genghis Khan's DNA in them has significantly dropped over the last, say, 20 years. And and when it first came out, there was a huge percentage of the world that had it could be traced back to Genghis Khan, right? Now it's significantly lower because of how many more people there are on the planet than there were when they first did this study. But the Mongolians, they were getting it. I mean, who shows up in those times on elephants? Bro, listen, I'll fight a lot of things. A dude showing up on an elephant? Nah, bro, I'm cool. You won. You won. I'm not gonna fight you on an elephant. Just not gonna do it. Mongol blood still shows up in our blood. There you go. Elephants and dinosaurs. Telling you. Crazy how many kids he had. Bobby, yeah. And then grandkids, and then I bet, can somebody, I should look that up. I don't want to. I wonder how many grandchildren, just grandchildren, uh historians have come to the conclusion that Genghis Khan had. I bet it's crazy. I bet it's 100. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah. It is snowballing cue ball. I agree there. I watch it like oh, we retaliated. Jeez. Of course. Had to. Had to. I don't know. Uh here's the problem. A lot goes on that we don't know about. We're not privy to. And if our president wants to rid the world of dictators and bad guys, I'm okay with that. But just say that. That's all. Just tell me. That's it. If that's what you want to do, I'm down for that. Go get them. But don't linger. You know, if if it turns out that this man is able to take half the bad guys out there that are terrible to their own people out, I'm cool with it. I'm good with that. Alexander the Great, something else. That's a true war strategist right there. Yeah, Haji, that's a fact. They do. But so Haji's statement here is the people over there uh, chant down with America and down to Canada and burn our flags. But our own citizens do that shit to us. We have American born idiots that do that shit on a daily basis on camera. You feel me? Like, give a fuck who doesn't like me from across the world as long as they can't touch us. And I think that's what this is about is we went they were getting too close for comfort to being able to actually touch us. And we went over there and we checked that. And I'm fine with that. But now there needs to be one way or the other. I'm for scorched earth tactics. I don't give a shit. Take it all. I don't care. What I'm saying is, I stop. If it's what we got to do, do it, and bring our kids home. That's all. A10s are going to be hell on. Oh yeah, cue ball. Listen, the A10 Warthog is a monster, a monster. Oh, mm. It's a Gatlin with an airplane built around it. That's what they said, and it's true. And I have friends that have been in the military that have heard those things coming through, and it is, yep, they said it is, there's nothing like it in the world than to hear that thing barreling down. And I've gone on like YouTube and shit like that to watch videos to listen, and hey, I could only imagine what it's like being there. Yeah, hit them lights, Timmy. Little Timmy is back from getting caught on to catch a torta pounder and burner in Vancouver. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Haji, and that's the thing. Oh, they did that in Vancouver. See, I'm all for, we shouldn't be allowing anybody to do that. Go ahead and put in that work on them. But if it's over there, what do we care? There's hella countries that hate us. Hell, our allies hate us. So, you know, yeah. All right, let's see. Just got another text here. A lot's been going on. Like I said, with this thing with Ray Ray and all that happening, it is, or with the whole group, and with Brian Went being brought. Uh-oh. Now I have somebody saying I heard different news. So we'll end it here. I'm gonna call and see what that's about, and we'll get a clearer picture. Thank you for coming to Vegas Profile Stories. I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you guys have an amazing day, and we'll see you next time.